Say whatever you want me to.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming today. It's an exciting day. We're here today to introduce a new approach to Kansas Coyotes football. We've got new owners, new colors, new logo, new cheer and dance coordinators, but more importantly, a new approach to sports entertainment in Topeka. So we're really excited that all of you came out today. First, I'd like to introduce and thank the dignitaries from the Topeka Chamber of Commerce for coming out. We're going to start out with a ribbon cutting ceremony, and then we'll continue with the rest of the press conference.
We are tickled to be here. This is exciting. This is very, very fun. The diplomats or the ambassadors always introduce themselves, so you know who they are. They represent the chamber just as well as you guys. You are our newest members to the chamber, so it's exciting. It's exciting to be able to do this. So let's have the ambassadors introduce themselves. So we'll start with Brian.
Brian Howe, WWW TV.
I'm Susan Shaw with AFLAC.
I'm Maxwell Williams. I do retirement planning. I have a website, maxwellwilliams.com.
I'm Marilyn Irvin with US Bank.
I'm Jim Driggers with Network Technologies of Kansas and the Computer Store.
I'm Sandy Kirk. I'm one of your helpful smiles in every aisle with Topeka High-V.
Peggy Diesterfeld with Peggy's Tax and Accounting.
I'm Kelly Langer with the Topeka Masonic Center.
Mickey Shaver with Mickey's Promotions.
I'm Jim Garrison. My State Farm agency is at 21st and Fairlawn in the Fairlawn Plaza.
And I'm Monique Reamer with ABS Supply.
And I'm Adrienne Evans with the chamber, and we're thrilled to be able to participate in this. Do you all want to say a few words now? Do you want us to cut the ribbon and move on? You have words to say, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, first of all, we appreciate everybody coming out. We especially appreciate all of you at fairly short notice coming out. So we'll save the rest for the...
We can do that. Sandy has a plaque to present to you.
One of the things we always do with the ribbon cutting when you're just joining us, this is a plaque to help you remember today, although I'm sure you won't forget it. We have your first dollar of clear profit. We also have the serial number recorded. We will be in periodically to see how you're doing and be sure it's still there. We welcome you to the chamber. Best of luck to you.
Thank
All right, you ready to cut some ribbon?
Absolutely.
Okay, need hands on the scissors.
And they'll say on the count
Don't
of
want to
three.
put anything in between or you'll lose it.
Don't put your hand in there.
Okay, we're going to count to three.
1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Thank you.
Okay, ambassadors, let's go ahead and take seats.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you very much. One other new thing that's really important to the Coyote organization is making a difference in the community. And one way that we're going to do that is through a special relationship that we have with the Topeka Rescue Mission. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Barry Feeker, who's the executive director of the Topeka Rescue Mission, to come and help us through the rest of our event here. Barry, thank you.
Well, good afternoon. It's a great honor to be here. You may be wondering what the guy from the rescue mission is doing here at a football. Actually, it was 37 years ago that I put on the helmet for the last time, and I just wanted to come out public today and say I'm going to reactivate my career with the Coyotes. Yeah, you thought I was kidding, didn't you? You're right. No, I do want to share an experience that did happen 37 years ago with a football team that I was privileged to be a part of. It was down a little small southeast Kansas called Coffeyville. And back in 1974 when I arrived there, coming off a very lackluster high school football career, hoping to go to a much bigger school, some of us were stuck in a little tiny town around a team that had not had a national championship season since the year I was born. Most of us were born. So we were quite disappointed we didn't get to go to one of the bigger schools because of our high school record. We got down in this small town, and we were pretty big shots. We were from Topeka. There were 3 of us that went there, and big shots in a little town. We only won 5 games in 1974, lost 5, so we still didn't have a winning season. There was a guy that came into town by the name of Dick Foster. Some of you know sports, know a little bit about that guy. Became the most winning junior college coach in history. Matter of fact, they have an AstroTurf stadium named after him in Coffeyville today. Back in those days, we didn't have it, but this guy came into town, and he said, we're going to win games. It was the second year. We changed coaches. We're going to win games. Now, most of us young guys hadn't been winning games. We didn't know what winning games really was like. That was for somebody else. He said, not only are we going to win games, we're going to win them all. Yeah, right. You're crazy. He said, not only that, we're going to go to the only junior college bowl game that they had in the country back in those days down in Roswell, New Mexico, called the Wool Bowl, and we're going to win that too. We thought he's really off his rocker. But through a vision, through his perseverance, through getting the right kind of coaching staff, he began not to only transform us as kids into somebody who began to believe in ourselves, but he not transformed a football team that actually won all of its games and went to that bowl game and won it too. Back in those days, the biggest thing to do in Coffeyville was hang out at the Taco Tico or the Hardee's. That was the only restaurants they had. About a year later, they got a McDonald's. Big deal. About 2 years later, it was Sirloin Stockade, and then the days in, and it went on and on and on, and they become one of the most winning junior college football teams in the country over a period of about 37 years. What I began to realize is that you can with vision, you can with perseverance, you can with getting excitement going, not only change the hearts of some young kids, but you can also change the heart of a community. Today, Coffeyville, Kansas, in spite of floods and other disasters that they've had over the years, is a different town because of the momentum that occurred through a program called a football program. One more story on that. When we came back from Roswell, we landed in Tulsa on a plane. It's about 70 miles back to Coffeyville on a bus. 30 miles out of town, the colors were red and white. We began to see farmers draping their fence posts with red and white. As we got closer and closer into town, we saw more red and white. We saw the whole 10,000 people of Coffeyville turned into 20,000. They went out and rented people to come in to congratulate us. And we felt like we were something, especially when the key of the city was handed off to that coach. Why am I here today? I might get to play it down. No. Okay. I'm here today because I know these 2 guys. I know a little bit about them. One a little more than the other. These 2 that have stepped up to the plate to say, we're going to take on the Coyotes. We're going to put our investment into this. I know that these gentlemen are people who mean what they say. I know both of these guys have tried a lot of things in life, and they've fallen down a few times. So have we all. It's not about how many times you fall down, as they say. It's how many times you get up after you fall down. The Coyotes needs a pickup. This community needs a pickup. I think that this is an opportunity that we can take this football team and really put it on the map. There's been a lot of good history here. There's been some not so good history here. This is an opportunity to pick it back up and take it forward and do what we need to do. Not only that, they're going to make it a community tie-in. A community tie-in, and that's they're going to look out for ways that they can enhance the overall quality of life in our community. It's not just about a business, not just about filling up a stadium, not just about getting people to come and watch a football game. It's about what we are as a community, and I believe fully that whether it's working with the homeless or somebody who's hungry or somebody who's struggling with addiction or somebody who's just fallen on hard times, you can take football and something fun and make something very meaningful out of it. Both of these gentlemen are people like that. Pat Park, one of the co-owners, has been married for 13 years to Cheryl. They have 2 kids, 5 and 8. Pat's worked with the homeless in the Kansas City area before. He's also worked with those with mental illness and drug addictions. He's also been an award-winning business salesperson and manager. He's also had experience in executive management with multi-million-dollar businesses, and he has a real passion for the Topeka Rescue Mission. I'd like to introduce co-owner Pat Park.
Nick just made the comment to me that we could probably just go home now after that. And I'll just tell you what an honor it is that Reverend Feeker came out to do this with us today. It really means the world to both Nick and I. And I'll tell you, we are excited today to talk about the future of the Kansas Coyotes and the ways in which we're going to leave the past behind. Nick's I don't want to steal Nick's thunder. He's going to get into some more of that. But we do want to talk right now about the future and what we have planned. Second only to community involvement is the fan experience, because of course the games, that's where we do everything. And I will announce right now that there's H.R. Cook from the Kansas Expo Center. We will be playing again this year at the Kansas Expo Center, and he and his staff have bent over backwards really to welcome us back with the fresh start for this upcoming season. So we thank you for that. First off, we've got this year we've got a streamlined ticket process. We've essentially created two classes of tickets, an upper and a lower level season ticket, at a lower price than we've had in the past. And I understand, we both sat and talked about this and understand that we have some winning back to do. Any of you that went to Coyotes games in the past, the attendance has declined a little bit in the past few years, and we know that we're going to have to win some people back, and so we want to make it easy for people to come in. Now, where you sit in the arena will depend largely on how soon you order your tickets. So that's a little hint. We will also have not only the lower season ticket prices, but special pricing for seniors and children, because this is a family event, and we'd like to have the family out there with their kids, grandma, grandpa, and everybody at the games. It's a fantastic family entertainment experience. This year we will have new entertainment before and during the game. And part of that, which we'll hear about shortly, I think Nick's going to introduce Trenny, but we have a brand new cheer program this year that I think will excite you. It's going to be a combination of dance and traditional cheer and gymnastics. And we have some other entertainment lined up that I think will excite you. The idea is that when you walk out of a Coyotes game, you wonder what just happened. And that's the whole plan. We will also have merchandise available, fan gear and apparel. That's been kind of lacking in the past, and we've heard a lot of people ask for that. So we will have, well before the season and during the season, Coyotes fan apparel available, both at the games, at our offices, and on our website through an online web store. So obviously with the new colors, the new logo, which we're excited about this year, and I think everybody on the team is excited about some new uniforms. You'll want to make sure that you get this and wear it proudly. We're also planning some giveaways this year at the game. We want to have a little incentive for people, extra incentive for people to come out and enjoy the game. As an example, during our first game, we're going to give away a motorcycle to somebody in the audience, and it's not might win a motorcycle. Somebody's driving it out of there on a Saturday night. Another thing that Nick will probably talk a little bit more about, he's going to discuss some of the community involvement, but player appearances are something we've had a lot of requests for, which we will work on. Actually, we had a couple of players just the other day at the Junior Coyotes car wash. A couple of them came out, took some time out of their day on Sunday to help out with that. And we've heard from a lot of the players that that's something they want to do, and they'd like people to want them to come. And so that we will be doing a lot of that this year. And we believe, as we're about to discuss, that this year we're going to have some new recruiting opportunities opened up. I will tell you that we've got a number of last year's players and some veterans that have been around for several years that are excellent players that will still be with the team. So we will still have a core of players that are experienced and extremely motivated to play the game. But we will need to add in and fill in around them just in the normal nature of things. So we will be recruiting out at the various colleges and different places where you recruit football players. Moving on, now that we're talking about football players, I'd like to, where's my coach? Back in the back there. I will officially announce right now that this year we have the honor of having Troy Bilodeau back. And I just want to say a quick word about that. Troy is an extremely solid guy. He's an excellent coach. He has the respect of the team, all of the players on the team and of Nick and I. And we are fully confident that he is the man for that job. And with some new resources and some new support, I fully expect him, and I'm committing you right now, I expect him to lead us into a championship season. If you would, please come on up. I'd like to introduce Troy Billady.
You know, I'd like to thank Nick and Pat for this opportunity. I know after last season, you know, I really thought that it was time for me to move on as the Coyotes coach. I was kind of looking at some other coaching opportunities. Nick gave me a call. I met with Nick and Pat, and we had a 4-hour meeting, our first meeting. And it was a great meeting. And there were just a lot of things I took from that meeting. And after meeting them, that, you know, number one, these were guys that I could work with. Number two, these are guys I trust. And number three, these are guys that are going to treat the coaches and players how they should be treated. And those were big selling points to get me back here as coach. Another thing I liked about these guys is they talked about the community and being active in the community. And I know that's something that our players want to do. You know, I think as an organization, one thing we all need to do a better job of is getting more people to the games at the Kansas Expo Center. You know, I think our arena is the best arena in the league. You know, I know when I coached up in Spokane, there was 10,000 people at every game. It was sold out every game. And that atmosphere, 10,000 people indoors. We had a kid that played at the University of Florida. He said it was louder there than it was at the University of Florida. So inside, people can make a difference. You know, the home field advantage, you know, we need that excitement. Another thing I like is, you know, after the games, the fans get to come out on the field and meet the players and get autographs. And I know I always meet my parents at the far end zone after every game. And I like to sit there and watch the kids come up and get autographs from the players. And just see that kid, the excitement in his face when he's getting an autograph from one of our guys. And, you know, some of our players are out here. You guys are role models to a lot of kids. I know Chris is here with the junior Coyotes. You know, these players, I want these players to be known in the community. And, you know, this last year we had a lot of trying stuff, but I really felt like it was the best group of players and character guys that I've ever been a part of. And we have a lot of great character guys. They're good football players, but a lot of them are even better people. And, you know, I appreciate what they do. You know, I'm excited to be back as the head coach. I'm excited that some of my assistant coaches are coming back. Mike Vandevelde is back in the back there, and Sean Smith. They did a very good job for me last year. Some of our players are back there. Jermaine Smith, he's somebody that when I coached at Washburn a long time ago, he was a freshman. And he actually played for me in Quad City for a year. I've known him for a long time. Great player, great person. Tyrone Barrett's back there. You know, he's been with this franchise for a long time. Those two guys have been here through the good times and the bad. And, you know, I'm excited to have you guys back. Jeff Coulter, he was first team All-League this year. Great player, great person. He's coming back. Mike Williams, Hollywood's back there somewhere. You know, I'm glad to have Mike back. Nick Godden is back there somewhere too, one of our receivers. He was out at the junior Coyotes car wash on Sunday. So, you know, some of these players have already been about in town. Anthony Gallegos is back there in the back with his dad. Anthony's from St. Mary's, came on mid-season for us, played DB and receiver and did a really good job. So, you know, I'm very excited to be back. I'm excited to have the coaches and majority of these players back. And I can tell you guys that I'm probably more excited than anybody that you guys are the new owners. And like I said, I appreciate this opportunity. You know, I expect to win games and be in the championship game. And, you know, I'll do everything I can. I'm going to work the hardest. I can promise you that of any coach in this league. And, you know, I just hope the community comes out, supports us, supports these guys, and gets behind it. Because when you have a packed arena, it is very exciting. So thank you, guys.
short step there. Just want to introduce my partner, Nick Baumgartner, one of the other owners of the team, and he's going to talk to us more about community involvement with the Coyotes.
I got to say a few words about Nick. I'm his worst enemy, or his worst nightmare. Nick and I have known each other for a long time, and Nick knows me as the guy that will never tell him anything he wants to hear. But the thing I like about Nick is he keeps coming back, and he asked for fine-tuning, and he asked for fine-tuning on this decision, even as of last night. One of my questions to him is, tell me about your coach. And he had nothing but positive to say about the coach. Well, he ought to, especially when it's the night before a press conference. So I had the opportunity for the very first time to have a private meeting with the coach, just a few minutes in the locker room. Actually, it was a restroom at the Ramada before this. And I asked him, I said, why are you doing this, and what do you really think? And what he just said, I believe he's on it. And I think he can bring some of these players into the community. We got a lot of young people in this community. You got 97% of the kids, or 87% of the kids in Topeka Public Schools on free or reduced lunches. There's a lot of hopelessness going on in our community. They need to see some winners. They need to see some people and role models, guys, in their lives that are going to step up to say it's going to be all right. You've fallen down, get back up. And that's what you can do, not only play good football, but you can help them to understand some really important things in their life. So I want to introduce Nick. Known Nick for a very, very long time. His wife, Violet, good friends of mine. Awesome people. Nick's the owner of Trade Bank here in Topeka, which has just done a phenomenal thing to help out a lot of organizations and businesses in the community. Prior to that, Nick, because of our relationship, was instrumental in starting the Jackson County Ministerial Alliance Food Bank up in Holton area. He's the director of the Transitional Housing Program in Holton, and he has a real passion beyond a lot of people that I know for people who are down. He comes down to the rescue mission, has for a long time, picks up guys and says, let's go to work. And he takes them by the hand and gives them a new start. And so I am not surprised that Nick and Pat have stepped up to the plate now to say we're going to pick up this football team and we're going to do what we can with them. With your help and your support and this community support like we always see happen here, we can see an incredible opportunity not only to have a good football team, but to have a community image through what's called the Kansas Coyotes. Again, would you welcome Nick Baumgartner?
There's a lot of people here, a lot more than I really had expected. You've heard from Pat about what direction the team is going. As excited as I am about that, it's my job to talk to you about where we're at right now and how we're going to get to that spot. I started looking at buying this team about 2 years ago from the previous owner. And in doing that, one of the things that I needed to do, and subsequently Pat and I have done, is to take a good, hard look at the inventory. What are we working with? At the end of last season, we were looking with a team that had upset players, disappointed sponsors, and a dwindling fan base. And that's when I called Pat and said, I think I'm going to need some help with this. We sat down, we looked at the direction we wanted to take the team, we knew where we wanted to go, we knew we needed to make some real key, fundamental, sweeping changes across the team to get a fresh start. We considered changing the name of the team, we considered just starting a new one and coming about with an all-new product, but we felt like that was ignoring the elephant in the room. So we've decided that we'll let the city tell us when it's time to change the name of the team. But for right now, we're still the Kansas Coyotes, and we're going to rebuild what was once a champion organization. How are we going to do that? Well, Pat and I, where did my wife go? My wife spent quite a bit of time talking about just exactly what we needed to change. How are we going to draw people back? Well, we'll start with Pat, who's put together a great ticket package, or great ticket options for people. We've added payment plans to the tickets that we've never had before. We were working with Lee Hartman from the Metro Voice, who's going to lead up fundraiser sales and group ticket sales. We've changed a lot of the dynamics of the team. We have Trini Tolbert. And Trini, can you just shout out and introduce your folks there real quick?
I'm Trini Tolbert, and I'm going to be heading up the new cheer and dance squad. This is my assistant Megan and my other assistant Sherry, and they're going to be helping us. And then we've got some dancers from the squad last year who hopefully we'll see back for
want to introduce a few more people that are here. Gary, Wendy, and Alicia Worley. Gary and I have known each other for a little while. We became friends in first grade, and I don't want any of you to know how long ago that was. Gary and Wendy and Alicia plan ahead events. They're the people that are generating all our merchandise for us, our online merchandise store. And Gary will be helping Jeff develop our website. The coach you've already met. Chris and Chance, I should introduce over here real quickly. That's the head. These guys head up the Junior Coyotes program. The Coyotes, the big Coyotes. It's hard for me to say that, but the big Coyotes sponsor the Little Coyotes, which is a YMCA football team, and we're doing all we can to facilitate their success this year. Chris has 60 kids, roughly 20 first and second, 20 third and fourth, and 20 fifth and sixth grade kids. So if you're looking for some help, somewhere to get involved, I'm sure Chris could use a hand. Those are the changes that we have to make. Those are the areas that we have to do something different than we've done before. We know that we have a product that we're going to put out a new product. We didn't simply rebadge and retag the old product. This is an all-new organization from the top down. The old structure, the old management had one, maybe two people to do what I have now, 6, 7, 8 people to take care of. All of those conversations that we had, probably most time we spent talking was talking about how we can make a difference in the community. And Barry's right. I have a passion for that. I believe that the city needs us, that what brings people to this community, what brings businesses to this community is strong ties, strong community ties, like sports teams, people that are committed to helping the nonprofits and to helping agencies, and that's what we intend to do. I need you for a second. So moving forward, we have a whole host of ideas of things programs that we're going to put into play. We're talking to nonprofits around town all over the place already. And for next season, we've got some big plans that we'll announce along the way. We didn't really know, Coach and I didn't really have a chance to define what we were going to do just yet, but we know that we did want to start off with a donation of $5,000 for the mission for this year.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everybody. To say the least, this is a really important gift, and I really appreciate us being the first shot. I know we won't be the only one. There's great needs in the community, but I think you've got a real good beginning here to launch this out and also make a big difference in the community. So, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you. Kevin, it's all yours.
All right, well, thanks again for everybody coming out. Please don't just rush out the door. There is food and drinks over here. If you have questions about the new Coyotes team, please look up anybody with a Coyote shirt on. Be happy to answer your questions. And I've got press releases for the members of the media who came today, everything over there at the information table. So thank you again for everybody coming out and participating, and looking forward to seeing you at the next Coyotes game. Thanks.